Hey, it's Gary Kayye, and I have corralled the one and only Alan Brawn. He just finished his tech rating class, my personal favorite at the Almo shows for now for, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years running.
Yeah, about a year and a half, yeah.
It's a phenomenal seminar, and if you're planning on attending any of the shows, whether it's New Jersey or the other events coming up in 2013, you gotta definitely come to the tech rating seminar. How was it? Well attended?
Well, yeah, it was great. And as you know, I attended your new keynote this morning, and one of the things that you talk about is you know, your version of tech rating, and you and I totally agree that this thinking outside the box issue in terms of projection and flat panel and what AV integrators do is totally the coming trend, and it's going to be interesting. I know that you do the Kayye's crystal ball every year, and it's going to be interesting. And I know one of your prognostications for the coming year is the concept of tech rating and the concept of using displays in ways that we haven't done heretofore. So I'm gonna put my money. I'm not normally a wagering guy, but I'm gonna put my money on your forecast that the next big wave in AV, other than digital signage, is going to be using displays as part of an environment, an environmental display. And we're not talking about green initiatives. We're talking about design. So you and I are on the same page of the hymnal.
Yeah, my term for it, because I didn't want to steal your term, was in immersive environments, because I was hoping to cover sort of all levels of display, but mostly focused on projection display. But let's talk a little about projection display. I mean, from the time that you were running JVC to now, I mean, it's just amazing how bright and how amazing, how much higher performance we get out of the small boxes nowadays, isn't it?
Oh yeah, you and I are again on the same page of the hymnal. This is so funny. People, because I grew up in the projection industry, and you were certainly allied along with it over the years, directly connected to it, with no pun intended to some of your previous endeavors. But the truth of the matter is, and we talked about the shootout this morning in the keynote, truth of the matter is that we come from 120 to 130 lumens of light output for a 250-pound machine, and now we have 45,000 lumen light output behemoths from people like Christie Digital and DPI and companies like that. But people ask me what I'm the most impressed with, and again, I'm going to totally agree with you. I am most impressed with the little 3-pound projector that's pumping out 3,000 lumens. And you know, the interesting part, and I think you'll agree with this as well, is that they put up a pretty darn good image. That shocks me. And you can buy these things for $500 or $700 or whatever, you know, from almost any place. So that's just blows me away, Gary.
Yeah, and you know, I think historically our industry has sort of tried to hide the fact that you can get that stuff anywhere, but in fact I think we need to embrace it, because really our intellectual property isn't in supplying projectors anymore. Our intellectual property is in designing unique systems and using the sort of the professionalism that we have to sort of get everything to work together, to control, where anybody can interface with it, walk up to a touch panel and be able to get the whole room to operate without 5 hours worth of training, and also get things to work when they're supposed to work. I mean, that's really the value we provide. It's not putting up images on the wall.
Well, and something that you've been preaching a number of years, and I've certainly agreed with you in this area. You've talked about AV and IT and the convergence. You and I may disagree on the date. I think you like to talk about 2008. Well, I think it actually is converged sooner than 2008. But the truth is, it's no longer an AV environment. It truly is an IT environment. We do some work with schools like the University of Illinois, where everything is now under the IT umbrella. University of Texas, all technologies are under the IT umbrella. And another thing that you've emphasized, and it's almost like scaring people in a way, and it relates to the fact that we can get these technologies at Staples and at Office Depot and at Best Buy stores and things, and you've emphasized the fact of not being afraid, and I like that, and I preach the same gospel, and it's kind of good that two of the people in the industry who do as many presentations and write as many articles as the two of us do, it's really good that we're on the same page in the hymnal about this. It is all about solutions, and you said it today. It's all about content, it's all about solutions, it's all about selling service. They can buy the hardware hardware any place they want to buy the hardware. That's not where the dollars are. That is an entree into the bigger picture, no pun intended, which is content, which is creativity, which is service, project management, all of these kinds of things. And you emphasized that this morning. I just hope the people in the audience were listening to you and take heed.
I hope so too. Now, my one and most important question is, what kind of watch you have on right now? Because we both love watches.
Today I have got a Parnis. This is hand-built.
That's super expensive. That's out of my price range.
Not hardly.
Because I've got a Timex something, I think it is here.
Actually, the interesting
Oh, we're back. We're talking about nerdy watch stuff. You didn't miss anything important.
Nerdy watch stuff. The only thing you know for sure is that Gary and I will have the latest technology, whether it's something having to do with a smartphone or a tablet, and we also have watches on our wrists. So, Gary and Alan.
Thanks, Alan.
Thank you.
Take care, man.
Take care.